Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off a 50-cent pick four at Belmont Park on Sunday with this prep for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Here's the field for the Grade 2, $250,000 Beldame. You've got the defending champion in this race, Mike, the number 4 Horologist. She likes to be up close. And you have Royal Flag in very good form, who likes to come from off of the pace. It's a solid group, and the winner likely goes on to face the top guns in the division in the Breeders' Cup Distaff.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, it feels like, it's sort of an interesting race in that a lot of these fillies and mares have races in common. So you can sort of get a gauge on them that way. Horologist is in very good form for Belmont. It feels like they figured out, Dan, that she wants to use her speed.
Will Horologist face pressure from Miss Marissa? That's the million-dollar question that hopefully Timeform US will answer with its pace projector. They feel Miss Marissa can get close to Horologist. Now, Miss Marissa was pressing Trusta last time out in the personal ensign and paid the price. Horologist is nice. She's no Trusta. Miss Marissa is probably going to take up a stalking position, but will she take the starch out of Horologist?
Yeah, we'll see. I think they're both going to go forward in here. Horologist, again, it feels like they figured out she wants to use her speed. Miss Marissa has always been at her best when she can get forward in her races. I won't be surprised to see them both going forward.
Thankful beat Miss Marissa in the ladies handicap to kick off her 2021 campaign, but she hasn't reached the winner's circle since, beaten a couple of times by Horologist. Let's watch her most recent start, dropping back to a one-turn mile at Belmont. Maiden Beauty on the lead wires him at a big price. Thankful saved ground, just kind of an even finish. First time blinkers, maybe getting back to 1 1/8 is what she wants. That seems like it's her distance.
Yeah, it is a better distance for her. The question is she ever going to pan out? It felt like, sort of earlier on, maybe she had a chance to be okay. Her recent form just isn't good, Dan, and she didn't run that well in here. I realize it looks like a little bit of a step in the right direction, but she just rode a gold rail all the way and was no factor.
So darn hot and proved first-time blinkers to win 3 starts back, but then was no match for Horologist, who went a well-beaten third in the Summer Colony. And she didn't fire last time out in the Twixt. I expected a lot better from her in that one-turn mile at Laurel, and she just didn't run.
Yeah, disappointing last time. A little bit disappointing, even over a wet sealed track in the Summer Colony as well. She does like Belmont Park. Both of her wins routing on dirt at Belmont Park. They're also the only 2 times in her career she went turf to dirt, and she's not going turf to dirt here.
Zajel's tough to rate. Her first 4 starts were slow. I know she won a grade 3 in her second start, but they were just very slow on the Beyer scale. Then she exploded to a big 93 Beyer in the Mother Goose when she got a great trip and might not have been best. Clairiere had a terrible trip and she was third. Now, last time out in the test, she regressed to her usual Beyer, but she might have been compromised by a speed-friendly track, a race where the pace held up, and a very good filly that won, Bella Sophia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on her for the test. I felt like that was almost an impossible spot for her. Her Mother Goose was good. I don't know where it came from. That pace wasn't that fast, and she was sort of up there all the way with a, I don't know, horse in Always Karina, who just to me isn't that good. But still, this filly, Pletcher kept the faith with her. She took a big step forward in there. I'm still not sold on her, Dan, but I won't be surprised if she's competitive in here.
Horologist was very visually impressive winning this race last year. She broke sharp, sat off another horse, took over the lead, and rolled on home. Here she is winning the Summer Colony. First time ever over a wet track, and she really liked it. She went a legitimate pace in this race, beating 3 of these common rivals. Just much the best.
Yeah, much the best in here, right to the top. Never gave this field a chance. You're right. Maybe the wet track moved her up a little bit. But her form overall since Mott has taken over is solid. She loves 1 1/8. Again, I think they figured out that she's at her best when they let her use her speed, and I'm sure they're going to put her on the front again.
Third start of the form cycle for Gold Spirit, who we saw finish a well-beaten second behind Horologist in that replay. Group 1 winner in her native Chile, maybe racing herself into form. Third start of the layoff for Chad Brown.
Yeah, I think she's going to run better in here. She didn't run great last time when it's only second best to Horologist, but I'll give her a pass for that one. I thought her Chuvie was actually pretty good off the layoff. She took a run at Horologist on the lead there. She did get turned away and get a little tired, but I thought she ran well. I think she's going to run better in here.
Miss Marissa's a real overachiever for Mr. Ryerson. Won the Black-Eyed Susan at 1 1/8, utilizing that tactical speed to get the jump on a nice horse in Bonnie South. Gifted the lead in the Delaware Handicap 2 starts back. I think when I talked to Mr. Ryerson after the race, he was stunned they gave him the lead passing the stands the first time. He was also very pleased. And in the personal ensign, there were no gifts there. Just dueling with Trusta and paid the price. I'm not sure she's a win candidate in this race, but in many ways, she's the key to the race.
Yeah, I think those things are both true. I didn't know that I liked her that much on the win end in here either. I do think she's really underrated, though. I'm not sure what she's going to do with Horologist in here, Dan. Again, I'm assuming Horologist is just going to go. It feels like they figured out that that's when she's at her best. And if she does go, it feels like Miss Marissa has her work cut out for her.
Isn't Spices Nice a candidate to trip out under Johnny Velasquez if Miss Marissa and Horologist do go? She has the tactical speed to maybe sit third outside and in the clear, and she ran a race 2 starts back at this distance at Pimlico. Not the greatest field in the world in the DuPont, but it was a solid performance. Last time out in the Fleur-de-Lis, I know she was in against Trusta, and she was likely overmatched. She was bad that day, Mike.
Yeah, I was disappointed with her last race, too. I didn't expect her to necessarily beat Latruska, but I thought she'd run better than that. So we'll see. I guess that just means, Dan, that she has something to prove now because for the most part, when they've tried her in the tougher races, it hasn't worked out for them. I did think she ran well 2 starts back and winning that race. I really thought she ran well off the layoff in Keeneland. And the other thing that I like about her, too, is I do think she has potential, and she's just fired fresh every single time. So this little bit of a layoff might have really helped her.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think the reason she didn't fire in the Fleur-de-Lis is something must have gone physically awry. And now she's given time, and we know Pletcher is awesome off layoffs, and she fires fresh. She's a really intriguing contender. Royal Flag finished third in the personal ensign. We're going to watch that race right now against Latrusta. There was a fast pace on tap, and we're going to see her second from the left, splitting horses and coming with a good late run. This coming off the heels of a Shoe V, where she got a fast pace and rolled down Horologist. She is in good form. She is an underrated horse for Chad Brown, and if the pace is fast, you'll know her late.
Yeah, absolutely. She's hoping that Miss Marissa goes after Horologist early in here. This was a good performance, very game down to the end. And now a race that's set up very well for her running style, and she did her best with it. I thought the same thing about her Shuvi. She picked up the grade 3 win that day. I did not think she ran the best race, but it set up well for her. The 1.8 is no problem. She's just in very good form, and she shows up every time, Dan.
Top pick time for the grade 2 Beldame. Mike, you're going with Spices Nice 6-1, a very, very nice price that David Aragona tabbed her on his morning line. And I think she can work out a good trip. And you mentioned the reasons. She runs well fresh and she has races.
Yeah, I still think there's a chance she turns out to be okay. And she's sort of the only one that's not exposed yet that I feel that way about, Dan. If I'm going to bet against Horologist, she's the only one I could do it with.
I'm hoping Horologist can shake clear of Miss Marissa turning for home, create a little bit of separation, and hold off the closers and win the Beldame for the second year in a row. 4871 for me, 7485 for Mike. Nice card at Belmont on Sunday, led by the Beldame. Good luck.